Hello and welcome back to Learn Now, your learning partner. In this video, we will be learning about the slicer and different types of slicer in Power BI. In Power BI, a slicer is a visualization type that allows you to filter data in a report or dashboard. It provides a user-friendly interface for selecting one or more filter criteria that determine which data is displayed in other visualizations on the page. In order to add the slicer in our canvas, we will go to the visualization pane and add the slicer. Now we can see the slicer is visible in our canvas. So now we will be adding the country to our slicer. As you can see that the country name are added in our canvas. There are several types of slicers in Power BI. The slicer which we can see on our canvas is known as list slicer. This type of slicer presents a list of values that can be selected by clicking on checkboxes. It is useful when you have a relatively small number of values to choose from. And when you want to see all the options at once, the next slicer is the drop-down slicer. This type of slicer presents a list of values that can be selected from a drop-down menu. It is useful when you have a large number of values to choose from, or when you want to conserve space on the page. In order to add the drop-down option for the slicer, we will go on Formatting option from Visual pane as shown. And now we can see we have two options available. One is Visual and other is General. From Visual pane we will go the option, and from Orientation we will select the drop down. Now you can see in our slicer it has added as drop down. Now we can make this as in button also. From slicer setting we will change the orientation from vertical to horizontal. Now you can see it has added the 5 button for each country. You can adjust it to horizontal or vertical by dragging it from the corner. You can adjust it as per your requirement. The next slicer is the range slicer. This type of slicer allows you to select a range of values using a slider or input boxes. It is useful when you want to filter data based on a numeric or date range. In order to add the slicer, we will select Add the Another Slicer from the visualization pane and will select the unit sold. Now you can see the range has been added. We can drag the corner to adjust the height and width of it, and from range, we can adjust it as per the requirement. The next slicer we are going to discuss is the date slicer. This type of slicer allows you to select a date range using a calendar interface. It is useful when you want to filter data based on a specific time period. We will quickly add the slicer and will click on the date filed, and now we can see the date slicer is added in our canvas. When you click on the right side of the date, you can see how smartly Power BI had opened a calendar for us. You can select your date from the calendar or from the slider of date to adjust the required date. In today's video we had covered all the different types of slicer in detail and how to use it in your dashboard. Slicers are a powerful feature of Power BI that allows you to filter data on the fly and explore your data insights in a more dynamic and interactive way. That's it for this video. In the next video, we will be discussing filter, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on your learning.